Hey there, in this video I am going to be giving you a platform walkthrough, really bringing this vitality process to life, showing you how powerful this tool is and really how deep of a dive you can go into your own physiology. Now, something that's important to understand first is a lot of what we hedge our bets on here at Vitality is the theory of constraints. And that is a system will only ever perform to the degree that it is constrained. So an example that I like to use a lot here is actually in the world of business. Business will only ever scale to the degree that it is constrained. So an excellent CEO, they would be able to look down at their departments. They'd be able to see, is there a constraint in marketing? Is there a constraint in sales? Is there a constraint in team culture? Is there a constraint in product quality? An excellent CEO is going to look down, identify the constraint, and remove it so that the business can scale and perform to the next level. That's what we do more effectively than anybody here at Vitality, and that's how we view your physiology. We identify any constraints that are currently holding you back from performing to your absolute potential, mentally and physically. So this is the dashboard that you're going to see that's going to explain and break down your physiology, okay? So once you get your blood work done, you're going to get that categorical grading across many different categories. You can see hydration, 90.6%, sleep, 88.2%, toxic load, 86.5%. You can see once you're above 90, you're considered in the performance range, which is why this is green here. And when you're considered normal, you're purple. Now, if you flagged very poorly in a category, you would receive a red grading, but this thing goes so much deeper. So imagine your primary concern is brain chemistry. Okay, well, I'm going to be looking at my categorical grading. Well, over here is the primary markers that impacted the grading of that category. It's like, okay, wow, my vitamin D, you see this red down arrow here. My vitamin D was actually critically low. So I'm here, all right, I can see that I'm actually out of normal, right? The purple is the normal range. The green is the performance range, which, by the way, took us over 10 years to develop, but we don't hide it here. You get the performance ranges for every single biomarker, of course, the normal ranges, and then we put it on a scale that's easy on the eyes for you to see right here. You get an explanation of what vitamin D is, an overview, the exact scientific references associated to that recommendation, right? You can just easily click and go right to the scientific reference associated to the explanation. But remember, this person was low, okay? So low, I'm gonna go here to details. And if you wanna learn more about details of low vitamin D, you actually just get to hear me go and talk about low vitamin D and how that's impacting your health and performance. There's also, it's not generic, right? You're not just getting vitamin D overviews on every single page. You are then explained, again, low vitamin D results in this, and that, and then brand new scientific references, again, to support exactly what's being discussed in this platform. So you were brought through this whole process, and you can go as deep as you want. This is for every single marker, all of the scientific references, the ranges, absolutely everything, okay? Now, this is just the generalized dashboard view. So you're going to see a lot of things all at once, which is really what a dashboard is all about, right? You see all your categorical gradings. You get your vitality score, which is the average across all of these categorical scores, which lets you know how close you are to operating at your potential. This case study, 83% of their current potential. Decent score, but not considered true vitality, which would have been considered at over 90%. Their key focuses, cardiovascular and muscle size. You could see the insights of the performance plan that they developed right here. And then also here, just some functional extras. This person interested in certain things that are associated for education, and you're able to get all of these recommendations just right away, just ongoing education, ongoing support to things that they've deemed important, even outside of their performance plan and all of their analysis and grading. If I wanted to just look at my lows, I can see here, cardiovascular is actually my lowest category here. If I want to just be happy about my highs, here we go. Want to look at all of them? We're back here looking at all of my categories, right? Now, if I want to do a bit of a deeper dive into my blood work, then I'm going to be looking at this page, okay? So here we go. Look at my blood work analysis. 49 of the markers are considered performance. 22 came back normal. 10 came back out of range. I'm also able to categorize them here in the way that I want to. Up a little bit more insight on the individual categories here. And I can also just gain more insight if I want to click directly on the category itself. I'm able to get full explanations on it. What is the cardiovascular category? What is it actually quantifying? Why is it important? How does it impact one's performance? What are the impact factors? Okay, what are all of my biomarkers? Not just the top ones that affected it. What are all of the biomarkers that affected it? And where did they land on that scale? All very important things to tease out here. Here, this person flagged for one pattern. So a pattern is essentially how the relationship between the markers feed into each other, okay? The example that I always use, and if you're familiar with my talks, I use this quite frequently, is albumin. Albumin is a protein made from the liver, but it is an acute phase reactant. So in the presence of inflammation, it's brought down, but in the presence of dehydration, it's brought back up. So what happens when you pull a marker down and then pull it back up again? It ends up normal, even though it's anything but normal. This person is inflamed and dehydrated at the same time, but it's not being flagged because it actually came back normal. This is what a pattern analysis does. You can't hide from us here at Vitality, whether you're trying to get to your next better self or if you're trying to help your clients or patients get to their next better self. Everybody's had the experience of looking at your blood work, everything looks fine. And then you're like, no, I have symptoms. I'm telling you everything's not fine. This is exactly why I'm here. Like, nah, you're fine. Get out of here. Like, no, this is exactly what pattern analysis are for. They're able to do an extremely comprehensive insight on how the biomarkers are in relation to one another and why your physiology is the way that it is, okay? Every single lab report undergoes 20,000 calculations on top of over 4,000 scientific references on one-to-one biomarkers, biomarker ratios, biomarker calculations, and then also pattern analysis. This person flagged for one pattern here, which is elevated blood lipids, which is pretty critical because cardiovascular was actually their lowest scoring category. So this makes sense that the pattern analysis here reflected itself that way. If I wanted to export my blood results because I wanted to send it to my coach or my parents or my spouse or my doctor, I'm actually able to get a very comprehensive, beautiful title page here, and then my categorical gradings, every single one of my biomarkers, why it was high or low, the explanation of why it was high or low. You guys, this is a 27-page report that I just ripped through, and you can just export results. Boom. And you don't just get numbers on a page. You get the exact reason for absolutely everything in that blood report. So when you're reading it yourself or sending it to your coach, sending it to a client, having it as part of your own service or sending it to a doctor, whatever it's going to be, it's an incredibly helpful and comprehensive thing that you're looking at here. When it comes to actually building your performance plan, now the difference between Vitality and everybody else is that this process is built to increase performance. Performance means you're going to feel better every single day, and in order to feel better every single day, you need to be following a plan that you can actually follow. Okay? The only difference between results and blood work is adherence. So you need to have a system and an approach that allows maximum adherence, which is why lifestyle, nutrition, and supplement recommendations are provided for every single marker, okay? So if you want to solve all your problems with nutrition only, you can do nutrition only. Or if you like the convenience of supplements, you can do some supplements. If you're more of a lifestyle person, then you can do a bias towards lifestyle. If you're mixed and you want to do all, look, it's up to you. Right? Adherence is up to you because there is a way to solve everything with the Vitality method. So looking here, this is this performance plan, but why don't I just go ahead and show you a bit about what it's like to develop a performance plan, whether I am the client or if I am the practitioner administering this for my client. Okay, so first of all, something that is very important to us here at Vitality is that we don't want any two plans to really look the same because they shouldn't, okay? If I am a X-year-old male and my goal is this, and my best friend's kind of the same thing, those plans should not look the same because we are two different people. even if we're the same type of guy and the same age with the same type of goal, the amount of analysis and in-depth analysis that we have towards this thing, this planned differentiation here. So there's not just a differentiation in analysis and outputs being very different and not generalized and highly precise from one another, but then they're going to be different in the way that you administer them as well, based on adherence by what you're choosing with lifestyle, nutrition, and supplementation. Okay, now it can also be different here too. Like, these are the recommendations that you can follow even without blood work. So these are just foundational recommendations that I'm in right now. And I can choose, okay, cardiovascular or resilience. Maybe I want to do stress. Maybe I want to focus on micronutrients, right? Whatever my category is that I'm most interested in, maybe I'll do brain chemistry, right? Resistance training, okay? Let me just actually remove these, you see, so I can see you watch me actually build this thing here. Okay, brain chemistry, sure. I'll lift some weights. I'll eat some blueberries every day. And I'll supplement with some bacopa, right? These are things that I can do even without blood work that have tremendous scientific literature that'll help me get to my goal faster while I wait for my blood results to come in, or something that I can do even between blood draws, okay? Performance area. So not only are you able to pick a functional area, which is one of the 13 functional systems that we're grading within the body, but you're able to pick a specific goal that you want. Do you want to build muscle? Do you want more endurance? Do you want to drop body fat? Do you want to improve your joint health? Do you want more speed and power? Do you want overall performance, cognitive performance, muscle strength? You can kind of start to see the tracks and paths you can put right here, right? Like, maybe somebody who's interested in metabolic health would choose the cardiovascular functional area and then the fat loss performance area. Maybe like a CEO, they might choose brain chemistry as their functional area of importance, and then cognitive performance in their performance area of priority, right? Maybe a bodybuilder would pick hormone optimization and muscle building. You get it. You can put yourself on different functional system focuses as well as goal focuses. So you can think about like choosing between these two categories, like functional area, inside out, performance area, outside in. You're getting a 360-degree approach to what you want. I'll just choose overall performance here, and I'll do some meditation, hydration, and I'll take some ashwagandha. Why not? I'm an overachiever, so I'm going to do all three recommendations for my functional area that I chose, which is brain chemistry, and my performance area that I chose, which is my overall performance. I want to get after everything. Okay. So there was already a performance plan made, so I'm just updating it. That way, that's what you're seeing here. Now, what's happening now, so you just saw me add the recommendations that are added without blood work. So that's why I'm kind of moving to this page now called targeted recommendations. These are the targeted recommendations based on the patterns, biomarkers, ratios, and calculations. So the things we saw actually from your blood, and that we're not just recommending on a generalized basis towards a specific goal. All right, so that just showed you all the biomarkers that need to be worked on, and I can attack them one-on-one, or one by one, rather. GGT came back elevated. Okay, well, I can actually, avoid smoking, alcohol, vegetables, fish. Why don't I go ahead, just so you can see it once more, right? You can just see me pull things right over. Boom, boom, boom. Then I'll move on to VLDL. Okay, omega-3. Bam. Vitamin D. Okay. One thing I actually want to mention, I'm surprised I didn't mention it yet, is the max impact score and high impact, right? What you'll see on these is medium, high, and max, to where they reflect the degree of impact a recommendation is going to have in your physiology based on your unique blood results. Okay. So you can imagine it just like, okay, omega-3 was connected to 7 biomarkers being off. So now omega-3 is considered a max impact recommendation for you specifically, because if you do this one thing, it's going to help all 7 of these at the same time. And if it's less, it's going to be considered high impact. If it's less than that, it's considered medium impact. You might be thinking, well, what about low and 0? Well, I'm not going to recommend those. I didn't build this engine to recommend you 0 or low impact recommendations. So that scale is medium, high, max. So if you yourself, you're at a busy time period and you're just like, okay, well, what can I do that's going to have the biggest ROI? Just choose the max impact ones. Or if you're a practitioner, okay, this person's really not good at adhering. They just really don't like to change their life a lot, but they still want results. Boom, just pick the max ones. Or if you do have the go-getters, then just choose them all. And you're just more in tune with what is going to be the greatest impact. And a cool thing that I want to like reiterate, this impact score is not just based on demographical scientific data. No, it's based on your specific blood work and your analysis. So it's not just like sleep's good for everybody, eating vegetables is good for everybody. It's not like that. It is based on your specific blood, your recommendations, and how that's going to impact your physiology as a whole. That's a very important distinction to make. But here's a cool thing I want to show you. See this suggested plan button right here? Check this out. Create suggested plan. Analyzing blood work. Viewing 4,000 scientific references. Selecting recommendations based on impact. Boom. Okay? In an instant, you're going to receive a program that Andy or I would have created at top level athlete, CEO, actor level. This is full analysis plus full impact filtration for your specific functional area and performance area. You guys, one button creates the perfect program for you that's going to last 6 months. For every one blood draw you do, you get 6 months of programming. You can hit one button and have this whole process done. So you can do it one by one in a customized way as you see fit, or you can just hit the one button and have it all done for you in one shot. And even when you do just the one button thing, let's say you wanted the perfect program built, and then you're just going to remove things on your own at that point, then you could do that as well. But I just had to show you that. Review plan. All right, so I've got my lifestyle, nutrition, and supplement recommendations. Let's create it. Boom. All right, I have my performance plan. Now, this is my new plan that I'm locked into. Really cool stuff here too. You get your timing recommendations. You get your recommendations on if you should have it with or without food, AM or PM, dosing. You get actually full product recommendations here too. You notice we actually have our preferred providers and the exact links to go get them, all the functional areas it's going to impact and how it's going to improve. And by the way, you can export this as well. If you're somebody who doesn't need to export their 27-page blood report and you kind of just want to export your 3-page performance plan because it's like, all right, man, I understand this is comprehensive, but just tell me what to do. Well, then you can also just turn this into a 3-page report and you're good to go there. All right, so I've shown you the dashboard. I've shown you the deeper dive into blood work. Shown you the performance plan, how you can edit it and instantly create it. Lastly, you've got your education area. So if you want to dive into more education on blood work, which is what a lot of people like to do, Andy and I have created a full education library here that you can check out. So we've got our full entire process here. You can look at us, talk shop about your program design, your protocol design, the whole thing. You get it. There's many lectures there and many more to come. All right? This platform is everything you need. Go get it.